Tomorrow will mark 10 years since Hurricane Katrina made landfall in the United States. It ravaged the Gulf Coast, killed nearly 2,000 people, and forced more than 1 million others from their homes. CBS Sunday Morning's Tracy Smith reported on the aftermath in New Orleans 10 years ago, and she's back in the city to revisit the victims of the storm. Tracy, good morning.
Good morning, Nora. I remember coming into the city right after the storm hit, and it looked like the city had been spared, and then the levees collapsed, and 80% of New Orleans was underwater. Thousands of people were stranded. We checked in with some of the people we met 10 years ago, including two of the storm's smallest survivors.
Even before Katrina made landfall, little Cade Langsford and his family had been through hell.
There's no worse feeling in this world than your child laying there and you cannot help.
Michelle Langsford gave birth to twins 13 weeks premature. Only Cade survived. And at just over a pound, he was clinging to life in a New Orleans neonatal unit when the monster storm hit.
Windows are blown in and the tiles are moving and people are getting a little nervous. And we stripped the babies down because it was so hot.
As the waters rose, Cade and 120 other babies had to be evacuated without their parents.
Did you say anything to them when they wheeled them away?
I just held them in my arms and I was snapshotting pictures of them.
After the longest 48 hours of their lives, the Langsfords were reunited. But like so many others in Katrina's path, their world was shattered.
Everything we had, our jobs, nothing, we had nothing.
You ever have people come up to you and say, I met you when you were this big? Yeah, I'm one of those people. I met you when you were this big.
Now 10 years old, Cade Langsford is healthy and a pretty good basketball player. With insurance money and a loan, his parents built this new house north of town.
So do you feel like, has your family recovered from Katrina?
Yes.
Katrina displaced more than 1 million people along the Gulf and destroyed over 130,000 homes in New Orleans alone.
We've got a rescue in progress.
Thousands of people who tried to ride out the storm were plucked from their roofs by the Coast Guard. Thousands more went to the Superdome.
Where's FEMA? Where's the mail?
And the city's convention center for help, only to find themselves stuck in filth and chaos.
Y'all to take a picture like this.
The National Guard arrived 5 days after the storm.
Can I ask you, do you know why it took so long?
Because we couldn't get in here.
But people see pictures of the tsunami where we shipped in supplies and they don't see anybody here.
We're here now.
So General, I met you 5 days after the storm when this place was a mess. 10 years after the storm. How's it doing?
Well, it's doing a lot better than that. As you can see, the place is open for business, but we got work to do.
General Russell Honore was the man charged with bringing order to New Orleans. Now retired, he's still dedicated to the city's revival.
It sounds like, yes, there is a recovery, but the recovery has left some people behind.
Right. It's left the same people that were struggling before the storm, the elderly, the disabled, and the poor. Many of them are in worse shape than they were before the storm, because at least they were in a city they loved.
Dolly Owens is one of them. Dolly refused to leave her elderly and ailing parents in New Orleans. When the hotel where they'd sought refuge flooded, we helped them get out.
Where are you going to go?
We don't know.
Today, in a way, Dolly Owens still doesn't know where she's headed.
They talk so much about recovery and how much New Orleans has recovered over these 10 years.
Yes.
Have you?
No. No, haven't.
Why not?
Because, Tracy, I'm still stuck.
She lost her mother, Callie, in 2007. Her father, Solomon, died in 2012. Dolly's uptown home, which cost too much to repair, is now for sale. The corner store her family owned and ran, now leased to someone else.
Can you go back to New Orleans?
No, there's nothing to go back to.
She's renting a home in Baton Rouge now. Granddaughter Jeray, the baby in my lap 10 years ago, is now 11 and lives nearby.
Do you think you would ever go back to New Orleans to live?
Actually, no, I don't think I will actually go back there to live because I've been living down here for 10 years now.
Despite all she's lost, Dolly Owens has kept her family together. And with them, she says she'll always be home.
Through it all, when I look at my children and my grandkids, they always give me that real hope.
That ray of hope?
Yes, they give me that real hope that I'm gonna make it.
Now, General Honore says that the recovery effort is actually about half finished and that the hardest work is yet to be done, preserving the culture here by bringing more people home. Nora?
All right, Tracy, thank you so much. You know, the city may have been rebuilt, but the people are still suffering to a great deal.
Yeah, and I've met quite a few people like that woman who left the city and then decided they just couldn't go back. It was too hard.
Well, so much time has passed now. You wonder if they'll ever
Go
return.
back. Yeah.